All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Sunday Smackdown number 14. Number 14? Firstly, what is Smackdown? Because there will be some of you that may not know. For those that don't know, Smackdown is a long-running series where each week 2 players battle it out in a grueling best-of-9 series for a $100 cash prize. All live on Twitch every Sunday. Details below in the description if you want to come and tune in. But Smackdown, it started many years ago, actually, and for a long time was hosted by ZutaZuta and uploaded to my personal Interjection channel. There was then quite a long break, but I brought it back, and so far I think there's about 10 Smackdowns on my personal channel, but I'm passing the baton on to Escape. So I guess it's still in my hands, really, but now has all the extra support, production quality, and most importantly, the extra funding that Escape can bring to the table. Basically, Smackdown is funded by the Age of Empires 3 community. We have a Patreon page for it, and basically, whatever support we get there, Escape will match. So currently it's $50 from the community, and that means also $50 from Escape. So if you enjoy Smackdown, do feel free to help us out. We'll match it. And check out the Patreon at the very least, because I've just updated it with new information, including details on a future Smackdown LAN tournament. So have a look at that. This video today, though, is, of course, too short to be a best-of-9. With the New World Championship and the ECL over, we wanted to move away from posting super long videos and instead focus on growing the channel, uploading, highlights, stuff the YouTube algorithm can really get behind. So this is a highlight video. It's an absolutely brilliant game. Normally I'd tell you a bit about it, but I've spoken enough. Enjoy the video. This time, though, it will be a 300 wood start, which is what British wants here. Here's Explorer. Going to head on out straight into the map there. 20 coin. Let's see if he picks it up. Maybe. I mean, you might as well, because the only other treasures you're going towards in the center are also tiny dinky treasures, although these alligator ones are a bit bigger, but you do have to kill, I suppose, an alligator there. Going to pick himself up 30 food right away. Meanwhile, Lucas, he's doing very much the same thing as last time. They're going to build himself a trading post right away and getting some villagers onto the trees so he can get his village down once the trading post has finished. The treasure closest to him is 70 coins, so not an XP treasure this time, which is what he had last time that helped him get his first shipment in sooner, but still a good treasure all the same. Let's take a look around the map, Hazard, and see what the big treasures are. We've got 70 XP off to the side here where the British Explorer is currently. I don't think he did scout it, but not going to go for that right away.
There's also like 55 coin, 70 coin, and 60 food. So and 60 wood up here that Lucas is going to go for here as well. So this is kind of like the map I like. It's just like not too impactful treasures, but it's like treasures you can actually use to like a little bit, like get an extra upgrade or banking on this treasure. Because he's actually only chopped 140 wood.
He's hoping.
And he hasn't got, and he hasn't got a village yet, so.
This is going to be the village. It's always nice when you can do that. And, yeah, that's now going to go down right away. Does mean, though, he is going to delay that first shipment. But that's probably why he's got 2 villagers chucking down this village so that the northern refugees will come in just in time. God, that would be awful if you sent that and the village doesn't.
It would be 1 bill. It would be a 1 bill card.
I'm sure it's happened before, but yeah, that's the case. So such is the way of things. Yeah, it is up now. He's safe.
Yeah, and he did toss that goat immediately to it, which is nice. Some people forget, but obviously Lucas is like a main China player, so obviously he'd remember that.
Yep.
Right in a safe location, right at the back. It is his, because sometimes China goes for double village, like sort of starts. Anyone, and he obviously doesn't want to get it sieged down by like any musketeer pressure or something like that. So I think I like it in the back. It's right next to the coin mine as well, so you can just garrison quite quickly.
Yeah, seems like he knows knows the matchup well, and going to keep his village safe. And yeah, that's a great China bonus, being able to garrison inside. Looks like a few more subscriptions coming in. Dig It receiving one. Settler Justice Wagon receiving one. Thank you very much. How to Talk, please help. Gifting subs to all of their favorite people. I don't know, but we appreciate it.
It seems like random people to me.
Well, they're picked, right? There's something going on here.
Yeah, I don't know. Still nice regardless.
Yeah, we do appreciate it in all seriousness. So thank you very much for that. Both players now going up to the colonial age there. Lucas going to pick himself up the 50 coin, but 50 wood to Conqueror. And as he is aging, 2 villagers coming forward. And Hazza, he's going up with the Governor, which there are no changes to. I was hoping it would be the Philosopher Prince and that these 2 vills would be, you know, being aggressive because of the faster age up. But actually, going to build a barracks or building, all the same. And
it's a bit odd. Usually you just send 1 vill and then build a manor and then you have 2 vills, but you just wasted like 2 vills worth of walking time. Halfway across the map rather than just sending 1 and building a manor.
Yeah, just going to send them both there.
But it's not a huge deal, but it's just like things that early game efficiency, essentially.
Losing a little bit of efficiency, but ultimately his strategy is still very clear. It is to drop a barracks very quickly, and that's what he's going to do.
He's gone barracks. Okay, cool.
And we're going to see the outpost next to there as well. He has, by the looks of it, not got steel traps.
Might actually go pikeman.
Okay.
Might go pikeman and just go immediately burn this TP, and China doesn't have units in time to do anything about it, really.
Yeah.
So Lucas does scout it though, which is good for him. So maybe he's going to ship 8 bows first.
And then that would give him the time he needs to deal with those pikes. Let's take a look at units in queue then. What is he going for? Musketeers. So will be.
Yeah, will be musks.
Will be musks. Porcelain tower to age 2.
He's put it on wood as well.
How often do you see a porcelain tower in age 2? That seems unusual.
Not many times unless you're Ace of Game 09. But I was kind of hoping like he would do like an ace. Oh, he's going castle.
What does this? What are we looking at here? Okay, castle going down. It's just a really.
What's going on?
Like functionally, it's just a very expensive outpost. It would seem. But the build it's all the same. 700 coin. He's gonna go up to the Fortress Age, but he doesn't really have the food for it. Musketeers coming forward. And are going to try and take down the monk.
I think, hang on, Shipman Center. I think he's going to go for wood next. And then...
This is quite peculiar. I don't know what he's hoping to achieve, but, you know, it shut down this pressure. These musketeers, they didn't really do anything. Just a couple of musks died shooting at the explorer. I guess he did some damage.
He should have just went straight to this and then, like, gone in the base once he sieged that down with, like, 15 musks.
Yeah, sort of siege it.
Went straight to the base for some reason.
Siege it down whilst you're kind of massing up in a way.
Yeah, exactly. Like... Sending 5 musks to opponent's TC is just going to do nothing. They're just going to get TC fired, but...
And in this case, castle fired as well.
And then send 15 into the base, then it's just like...
You can get work done then.
Yeah, exactly.
He's going to come to the TP now, and he will siege that down. 8 bow was not sent, and there are no military units in queue, and I highly doubt he'll be training anything from that castle anytime soon. So,
yeah,
that TP is toast.
Yeah, that TP's gone, but it kind of paid itself off, and he's buying a little bit of time, I guess.
Continuing to mass musketeers, stable now being added in as well, and Conqueror up to 100 mana population has also got a bit of extra enough wood for a second house there in his bank, but
yeah,
very much.
He just dropped it now. Yeah.
Yeah, this is not super boomy. He's training a lot of musks. He's aging up.
He's aging up with the Summer Palace, which is going to grant him 1,000 food in age 3. And this is quite good because he's running out of food basically. And now he's got like a sizable musketeer count. He's actually going to get some work done and siege this village possibly. Yeah, this village isn't going to go up.
Oh, he's just chucking the vills on. He does get it up, but not before losing a few, as you said. It's going to switch him over to the castle and then into the TC. Juggling them through.
Yeah, teleporting from building to building.
That's how that works.
What I mean, like, this sort of musketeer count is much scarier than just 5 musks.
Yeah. Damn, so many vills going down here. And that musk's gonna go, sorry, the monk gonna go down as well. Let's take a look at units lost. 5 villagers in total were killed in Conqueror's base.
Yeah. Oh, we do see a hidden vill over here. I wonder if Lucas is going to try and escape more vills. He's trying to put more vills on the Wonder to age up a bit quicker. But it's just not going to happen with these constant musketeers down here.
Yeah, this is what you want, isn't it? To have musks in base as they're trying to age. No villagers can be building that really, really slow age. And all the while, his villagers are just belled up inside the town center and the villages. And this, I think, explains why he built the castle. It's doing a lot of work here. It's making those musketeers, is making it more expensive to stay. And Conqueror doesn't really want to stay under this TC fire any longer.
Yeah, his count is like dwindled a bit. But yeah, it's just idling Lucas and killing his eco whilst he's just getting a lot of eco of himself. Like, he's gone to 150 mana pop in such a short space of time. And he's also shipped 5 vills behind this. 5 vill, he's going to start shipping like Musketeer HP or Cav HP.
Yeah, it looks like he's in for the long haul in Age 2 here. Just gonna... No, 700 coin. Okay, so I feel like this was a clear decision point, wasn't it? It was either start shipping those upgrades and just stay Age 2, or send 700 gold and go up. And this is the point in the game where you make that decision.
I think... yeah, it looks like he's actually aging, but he could have used that to, like, mass units, I guess.
To mass cav and stuff like that.
Yeah, just get 10 musks or something.
Just checking his deck here. He hasn't got 600 coin in, so if you use that 700 coin to make units, you kind of, like, lose the opportunity to age. Well, you don't. You can obviously still age. It just isn't... It's just a bit awkward, right? Because you have to gather all those resources and...
Well, I mean, Brit has 50 vills. That's not going to take too long.
Okay. All right. That's fair. But all the same, he is going to age, it would appear.
Yeah, he's up, which I think is a fine decision. Like, it's not like Lucas can push out anytime soon. Like, his TP's gone down, and he hasn't really been training units or building anything, so... I don't like this raid, though. Any musketeers. Never mind. He's going back in. Why is he going back in? Oh, there's Changdao pop, though. And the 2 flamethrowers. Nice. Beautiful.
Nice. You rarely see flamethrowers.
No, Lucas has been liking them recently. I think they've been buffed on EP or just unexplored, and he somehow found them really good or something. I can't remember what he's found out.
Yeah, I don't think they've been buffed, so it must be the latter. They've not been changed on Smackdown patch either. But, yeah, my experience against flamethrowers is that they're really a lot better than people make them out to be. But then I'm not a top player.
Well, I never see them, so I have no idea.
Right.
I'm kind of looking forward to see how they play out, really, and see how well they do versus, like, this sort of Musketeer Hussar composition.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to know how good they are because you click on them to see how much damage they do, and it's really misleading. It looks like not very much at all, but their rate of fire is obviously absolutely incredible. But it's just a unit you can't really judge in the same way that you can, like, look at a Falconet and kind of know what that does. But Conqueror, he is now up to the Fortress Age. Let's see if those longbowmen pop at this forward town center. They do. 7 longbow come out, and just in time, adds in a second barracks there, and in 1 barracks, 1 stable, getting Vet, Cav, and Vet, Hussar.
Yeah, I see.
Immediately. So that's really good.
He's also got 5 musketeers from the other barracks as well. And I hope he'll, like, queue units immediately after he's got the Vet techs. He might lose this barracks or stable.
This might be one of those instances where British being able to age 10 seconds sooner compared to EP with the Smackdown politician changes is actually sort of really good. Yeah. It's just a strict buff to British, where it's not perhaps so much for other civs because they don't have, you know, British don't have a fast age option. But the fight is underway. I thought those flamethrowers were going to be toast, but was able to save them. The Changdao forced those cav away, and it looks like they're performing.
Holy shit. What's going on?
They're just burning the units. They're just being destroyed. He's cleaned it up entirely. That's insane.
What is going on right now?
I don't know, but
shit, 5 bar.
They're quite beautiful to watch. They go off in a puff of smoke. The fire is awesome, and they don't seem to look at the siege. They're actually quite good at sieging. It's going down quite fast, that stable. Robo, write this down. This is awesome.
Oh, this is quite cool.
He's just burning his way through everything.
He's only gathering wood and coin as well. So he's just gonna make. I think he's just got more flamethrowers in queue. So he's just gonna make pure flamethrowers.
Oh wow, this is.
Dictate just like put like 7 builds on his stable to get it back up instantly.
He's like, yeah, I need cav. I need them now. Let's go. Oh wow, yeah. Robo, did you write that down? My screen's gone off, so I don't know. You can't really communicate with me anymore. So I guess you'll have to use the Twitch chat. But yeah, that was really interesting, actually. I suppose we ought to take a look around the map and sort of see what's going on. Conqueror is gathering, quite far out here, and it looks like he's about to lose map control quite soon. So he's going to have to handle what is... This army looks really tough to deal with. Chang'e are just, the counter to Cav, and he needs Cav to kill the flamethrowers.
I mean, like... He should have probably, instead of these 9 musks or 5 husks, he should have put, like, these 2 shipments are just kind of wrong, in my opinion. I think it should have just been, like, 9 musks, then 2 falcons. Because then, obviously, the flamethrowers are quite low range. Their range, what is their range, actually? It doesn't even say.
Yeah, I guess it's just, like, a traditional, like, range of an ordinary unit. Like the normal torch-throwing range, it would seem. Or maybe, like, the same as a grenadier or an abyss gun.
No, it seems shorter than that. I think it's like shorter than the musketeer. Look,
Okay, but let's take a look at this fight, though. He's got a reasonable mass of musk and a few husks there, but the husks aren't going to last long versus the Chang'e, but he does try and get them onto the flamethrowers. Does manage to kill one there, but still a couple of flamethrowers. It was sieging the manor. 10 longbow are going to be quite helpful. Let's take a look at military units.
Husks on the way as well, popped out. This is quite a close fight. Conqueror did a nice job of like coming at all angles, but have you seen what's going on down here as well?
Villagers not doing quite as well in the execution squad.
Yeah. They need all the musks to like randomly go to 1 HP and then they'll be fine. But that's not happening today.
No, they're not Minutemen, are they? That's a shame. But does handle the flamethrower pressure. And perhaps this explains why flamethrowers are not actually that good, because it seems like he was in a very losing position, and he seems fine now. And if you look at the score, it's absurd.
He was kind of like banked on that push to do a lot of damage. It did some damage, but a lot of vills, and obviously Brit's gone to like almost... He went to full mana pot, but Lucas killed a few, so even Brits can recover that way. And of course, like 3 shipments of China have gone. 4 shipments have gone.
Yeah.
He's only got.
So his steam is running out, right?
He's got 2 left, and one of them's Manchu, which is like 1k coin, which takes a bit of time. So he's actually almost got the resources for Manchu though, and he just ships skirms now. Actually, to be fair, so they won't be here anytime soon.
Okay, so 10 skirms, and then perhaps Manchu after that. But Lucas needs to get something done because his steam is running out, and indeed his shipments are running out, as you've pointed out. And if he doesn't get any work done, if he doesn't take some significant map control or do some lasting damage, then Conqueror has surely won with the superior eco. They're now sitting on 60 villagers with steel traps and upgrades and all of those things. Conqueror will win the long game. It is on Lucas to do something. The score does not look promising, but... he has got a couple of shipments left. Let's see what he can get done. I think ultimately the flamethrowers didn't seem to be... They looked good, but they didn't... They didn't seem to win him.
He got a lot of style points, so I think he won the style.
Yeah.
The style medal. But...
Yeah. They are a really cool unit, though. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
But
it's worth a try, I think.
Okay, he's spent his gold now, so there must be Manchu on the way, unless there's a lot of units in queue, which there's only 1 flamethrower, and I don't think they cost 1,000 gold each, so that is... there they are, the Manchu have arrived.
Yeah.
So this is now China's moment. If he can get a great fight here, this could put him back in a good position.
He's got a couple of flamethrower Manchu and then like 10 skirms and the random like disciples. He might actually be able to take this fight. Because the cannon should just like one-shot the flame, maybe two-shot the flamethrowers. So he should just like abuse the cannon range, but obviously he doesn't really have enough like anti sort of melee stuff. He needs a few more musks probably if he wants to outright win the fight. Not even so, if they fought now, I think Conqueror would take a decent trade regardless. So
it's also raiding on this side of the map there.
I think once Lucas sees this 10 Huss, he's gonna try and, because that's a lot of Huss out of the fight. Maybe.
Right, these Huss. Yeah, he's seen them now, but he's not in a position to force a fight. He is killing a lot of villagers, though.
Yeah.
Just random vills dotted around the map.
Random 3 skirms, just like picking off vills wherever they can. At least 2 Huss are gonna die, though.
Yeah. He's gonna trade it for almost 2 arquebusiers. So not...
Oh, wow, though.
Oh, big raid. Let's go over
He needs to like send his mantra over. Yeah. You should have seen those Huss earlier with the 2 skirms that were over there, but apparently he didn't. What happened there?
He's going to force them away now, but not before he's lost a couple of vills. Lucas lost 16 vills this game, and his eco is not looking healthy. He needs to do some lasting damage. Yeah, he is. That is the case. Do you think he can do some lasting damage though? Those 2 Falcons look quite scary, and British has got good army there.
The longbows alone could almost win this fight, really.
24 longbows.
Yeah. Other units are just like. He's even sent Yeoman, so he's got 26 range longbows, so he can just kill like. Maybe a mantra or 2 before the fight even starts. Target
the flamethrowers down as well, something like that. But yeah, fight is going to happen now. First volley onto the village. That was a mistake. That's what Lucas needs here. Does blast the arquebusier though, and is sort of kiting backwards with those cannons. But a couple of melee Manchu do find themselves on top of the cannons. Are going to dispatch them. Takes a couple of musks to handle it, and there's some hussars there too. A lot of longbows gone down to the to that flamethrower fire there, just getting absolutely decimated. That area damage seems really effective. They seem very strong against low HP sort of units and also buildings. They kill them very, very fast here. But British Army down to the last legs. Cannon is destroyed. And those hussars, they won't last long versus the Manchu in the back here. But a few reinforcing muskets are going to go down. And the Cav are saying, no, they are getting out of here. And somehow China has he has somehow managed to win that fight.
We win that fight. Oh my god, I want to rewatch that clip to see how many like units ahead Brits were.
That was insane.
Looked like like what the hell happened there?
And now he's going to take down this TC that's only just being finished built. That flamethrower, there's one left. He's trying to take it down with the low. He needs to get rid of the flamethrower because it has so much siege. That's the thing that's going to kill this TC. But big batch of Minutemen and 6 longbow do pop out. Looks like he's ran out of unit shipments, and that's what he needs to stay in the game here, just to keep his eco relevant. And as long as he can keep his map control and those villagers working, he will eventually win this game, I think, because China's steam has ran out. This is all China has left. They need to win the game off the back of that push, but it looks like Britain is able to just replace their units.
For TC fire, really, but he's okay holding now anyway.
God, Robo, you better have written down that clip. That was.
Oh, he comes full cav to kill the longbows.
Oh wow. Is he?
Oh, the villagers are coming in to punch.
Plugging the villagers in there just for extra damage. Yeah, just pulling every vill.
Oh, here come more vills.
Yeah, and he needs them just to stay in the game. Maybe put some in the TC. I'd like to see that, as you said. It's okay though.
6 red coats and the hero coming in as well, and the hero's fairly high. No, he's quite low actually, but he can train disciples as well. And Lucas actually has a decent amount of resources stacked.
He does.
And Conqueror doesn't.
Could China win this? What is going on?
This is such a sick game, honestly.
This is incredible.
Conqueror's the eco pop is like, obviously these vills aren't gathering, so essentially like the eco's essentially even.
Yeah, he's just chucking them in there.
He's training quite well with like and the flamethrowers and the hero.
He's just adding them in. These vills, their only function right now is to just be 200 HP worth of sponge so that his longbows can get some extra damage in and just hang on to that map control. And it's okay, he can trade these villagers off just because his eco lead is so high. He just needs to not...
Like 2 batches of cav in queue as well.
And 1,000 wood on the floor.
Which he's forgotten about, but he's too busy like being a pro to realise it.
Yeah. Vill's gonna bash down.
He's gonna punch the flamethrower.
Yeah, put an end to that. Well, he's gonna shoot at it with his Vills, but I'm sure he'll fix that soon. Either way, he needs to get rid of it. That town center needs to stay up here, and still just frantically fighting here in the middle of the map, being super scrappy, having to use the Vills, just trying to get rid of China.
Is he gonna save it? Ah. But these Vills are just now gonna die to this new cav batch, and 6 musketeers.
Just in time. That was so perfectly timed. Oh dear. We moved...
Oh, that was like 8 bows or something.
Like, how often do you see a game where like the colonial age military shipments are like super relevant at the 23-minute mark? Normally you want to see sending upgrades and stuff like that.
This is great.
But it's like China just trying to, like, they have to do some lasting damage, and British like, oh god, I can't lose my map control because then my villages mean nothing. And what a great game. Oh, this is brilliant.
I have to say, Lucas has done really well despite what he's had this game, because he had such a terrible start, and it looked like he had like half the units all game, but he somehow managed to stay in this long and do some damage and make it really close. But I think this is the part where Brits is just going to prevail.
Yeah, I'm just looking around the base. He seems quite well set up, actually. He's got 2 mills. There is a little bit of food left. Mind you, look at this. You've got Lucas cheekily gathering hunts.
Oh, and then gathering harmony as well over here.
That's right. Yeah, for the time being.
The problem is you can't really send any... it doesn't really matter, because you can't really send any units over there, because then you just lose the main fight.
Yeah, you have to just wall up, or the Vills can fight each other. That's a thing.
Oh my god, this might be a sick trade for Lucas again. The Changdao on the goons, the Skirms on the goons, then of course like all the China Cav on the longbow. But the Vills with Blunderbuss and Vil HP are just going to tank a lot. But it looks like it's a great trade for Lucas, and this is why like longbows aren't that great versus China, just because they're so low HP and China has so much melee shit. Great trade for Lucas again.
Yeah, and there's one Steppy Rider that was pulled just to do some damage to those villages. Really nicely done from Lucas. And yeah, it looks like that Conqueror will hold the position, but he has paid for it dearly. He's lost a number of villages here. God, if you look at the units lost throughout the entire game, Hazza, somehow British has lost 82 muskets, 80 longbows, 44 hussars. It's just, and compared to what the China player has lost.
What the fuck? Yeah, I know.
China do have a lot of different extra units, so I guess you have to scroll through it to get the whole sort of picture.
Think about it, like he made 82 musks, but China's only made like 20 skirms all games. So it's just like, how's that even possible? Like, how do you lose so many musks with barely any skirms on the field? And they're at like one at a time as well, like one batch at a time as well. So it's just like,
it's happening.
The just did so much work.
Has he really gotten to the point? I guess he realizes, you know, He's
gonna kill more Vills. Look at this shit.
Yeah, and a 3rd TC. He's getting his TCs down. We're going into the late game.
He's just trying to do it for map control. Plus, he's stacking like so much wood at this point
that he might
probably
as well
try and drop, like go on this mine, put his towel on coin, and then try and see what's in the saloon. At this point, I think.
Oh wow!
How do we find out what's in the saloon? Is it possible?
Yeah, you hold Alt when you click it.
Yeah, but there's no saloon like.
Oh
in the field.
no! Well then we don't know until it's made.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. Actually,
he's gonna go up, and he's gonna deny this hunt, and he's also denying this hunt with like a random batch and Minutemen.
Yeah.
From like one of the few of this is like one of the last mines. This one's on the Conqueror's one is only on 600 coin.
Yeah.
Oh, Lucas is losing these skirms to these hussars and longbows.
That's not
ideal. He's bringing the Vills, but I think this is a mistake. Oh no, he's sending them back. Okay.
Yeah, he's realised that's a lost cause. Perhaps he was trying to get into the TC, but then realised, oh, I have to walk through those longbows. That's not.
Yeah.
Not a great idea.
Yeah. and they fire so fast, so it's not the best idea.
Damn.
What has Lucas got in queue now?
Just pikes.
He's
Pikes
got
and
no units in
towers.
queue.
Pikes are not units?
I'm talking Lucas.
Oh, right, right.
I guess pikes aren't units unless you're Azank, and then they're somehow really OP.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely true. But I think Conqueror's finally found his footing again, and it has a pretty reasonable mass, a good composition, and is starting to stand on top of China's base. That rice paddy is denied for the time being there, and it's starting to look like Conqueror is figuring out how to win.
He's finally stabilized, and Lucas, like, I think the 1k wood was like mistake. I think it should have been like 8 bows or something. Like the 1k wood just went into this TCs that only just went up now, and they're being sieged down immediately, essentially. So I don't know. He just lost his temper at that point, I think.
Say again. What would you have done with the wood?
Would have shipped 8 bows instead.
Yeah. Okay.
Or something like that.
Could you ship the wood and sell it?
That might actually be like the better idea. Just ship the wood, sell it, and then see how many batches you can train. But it looks like this might be like the slow end for Lucas. He's even being raided up here, there, and he's getting denied off his last coin mine. This one's going to run out shortly.
I got to admit, I was kind of rooting for Lucas after that nonsense earlier, and him being the underdog all game.
As well. It was just like such an interesting play. I wanted to see it work out, but unfortunately, it looks like it's the beginning of the end for Lucas.
Oh, this game's going up on the YouTube channel for sure.
Yeah, it's such a sick game, honestly. But Conqueror's starting to get all his arsenal upgrades. He's got literally all of them now, and do all right with like 0 coin mines because they can just go vet, longbow, pike, which isn't the worst composition. When people like switch into rice paddies, China is probably really bad. But if China's like running out of gold as well, then he won't be able to train much cav, and then you just can make like 50 vet longbow, 50 vet pike, and then China can't really do much against that if they're transitioning.
It looked for a moment that Conqueror, pardon me, it looked for a moment that Lucas had gotten his TCs up, and the villager counts were looking like they were close enough that he could play it out. But I suppose Conqueror was already switched onto mills and plantations, and as you said, the wood, perhaps he lost too much tempo. And I think the game has divulged now to the point where he has lost all sense of map control, both those TCs, and Britain has almost twice the eco again. Conqueror is in a great spot.
You have to bear in mind that Brit was like 100 score ahead this entire game.
Yeah.
Like, Lucas has done such a sick job of being like, basically, I'm quite impressed actually. Just like he had such a terrible start, and this matchup's not the greatest, but he somehow managed to make like the flamethrower push by him a bit of time, and then he bought more time, and then fight where he had half the units, and then just. It's quite incredible, really.
But we keep saying this, but this fight looks promising for China.
This fight looks okay for Lucas as well.
How?
Like, if the skirm, oh my god, if the skirms are like targeted the goons, like this China cav would stay up for such a long time. Pikes and the goons are just goons with like cav combat and the caracol upgrade.
Yeah, that's a mouthful, that word.
Sort of cab, but it still looks okay for Lucas, this fight, actually.
Yeah, and the Changdao's going on to the goons. I like that behind. And the longbows, they're not very good at tanking. They need something in front of them to be effective. And, you know, these redcoat muskets, they're once you're in range of a unit like a longbow, they're actually muskets very strong against them. So
yeah, I'd say like these redcoat muskets are sort of like really good versus these longbows as well, and the skirms are not dying to the longbows, so they're also still doing their damage. So I think,
damn,
like he just needs to get out of there. And the goon does drop as well. He sent repelling volley, so he does ×3 versus goons now. So Conqueror's going to be like just not make many goons anymore and go for like more pike and husk composition rather than goon composition because they're easy to focus.
Wow, I'm really. That was a glorious way to win that fight. Well, I want to say, yeah, but you can't play anymore. That's what I was expecting. It's a glorious way to go out, is what I was trying, what I wanted to say. But I didn't want to sound like the game was over, even though it was. But how can you play on from there? You've only got 25 bills, and your shipments are just gone.
Yeah, I've been quite impressed.
That was an awesome game.
Yeah, it was great. I was like incredible. Like, look at the eco difference. It's like 20k, and then Lucas. I want to see like these trades. Like,
we've got it all timestamped, or it's all written down, so we'll find it. And when I go through the footage at some point, I will link you, and you can have a giggle.
Look at the graph at 20 minutes. The Mitoe unit count. Conqueror had like 60, and Lucas had like 45, and then Lucas lost like 30, and Conqueror lost basically everything. It was incredible.
Yeah.
And that was with like flamethrowers and stuff, which you usually consider as like
a bit of a troll unit. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, that was
flamethrowers and and disciples.
Quite impressed by flamethrowers. They seem to have a lot of siege, and they particularly were quite good against the longbows. They seem like they're good against low health, sort of the area damages, you know, all that sort of good stuff.
Flamethrowers are quite fast as well, so they can get like right up in your face with like the Changdaos in front as well, and China Cav. So
I'm going to cut it there. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Check out the Patreon, as I mentioned earlier, Smackdown LAN tournament details there, and press the bell icon for more videos like this.